The heavy steel door of Vault 76 groaned open, revealing a world bathed in sunlight. I stepped out, blinking against the harsh glare, my faithful companion dog at my heels. The air was different here, fresher somehow, tinged with the scent of pine and possibility. We'd spent years underground, waiting for this moment, and now it was finally here. As we ventured forth, the familiar confines of the vault gave way to rolling hills and dense forests. Every step was an adventure, every sound a new discovery. My Pip-Boy crackled with static, picking up faint radio signals from whom the world might have ended, but life, it seemed, had found a way to carry on. We hadn't gone far when we encountered our first real taste of the wasteland. A group of raiders, their armor cobbled together from scrap, metal and leather, emerged from behind a rocky out. Their eyes gleamed with a predatory light, weapons raised and ready. My hand instinctively went to my own pistol, heart pounding in my chest. But then something unexpected happened. One of the raiders, a grizzled man with a scar running down his cheek, squinted at the numbers on my jumpsuit. 76. He called out, his voice rough but curious. "You're one of them vault dwellers, ain't you?" I nodded, not daring to speak, my fingers still wrapped around the grip of my weapon. The raider's face split into a wide, gap-toothed grin. "Well, I'll be damned," he chuckled, lowering his gun. "Heard about you lot. Supposed to be the best and brightest. Here to rebuild America and all that jazz." The tension in the air dissipated like morning mist. The other raiders followed suit, weapons dropping to their sides. They gathered around, peppering me with questions about life in the vault, about the world before the bombs fell. It was surreal, standing there trading stories with people who, moments ago, I'd thought would kill me without hesitation. As we parted ways, the scarred raider clapped me on the shoulder. "You take care out there, vault dweller," he said, his tone almost reverent. "We're all counting on you to make something of this mess." Their words echoed in my mind as we continued our journey. The weight of expectation settled on my shoulders, heavier than any pack I'd ever carried. We were more than just survivors. We were the hope for a new beginning. As the sun began to dip towards the horizon, I knew it was time to set up camp. Finding a clearing with a good vantage point, I set to work. My training in the vault hadn't prepared me for the reality of building in the wasteland, but I made do. Scavenged wood became walls, salvaged metal formed a rudimentary roof. It wasn't pretty, but it would keep the rain off and the raid roaches out. As I worked, I couldn't help but imagine this small camp growing into something more. A beacon for other vault dwellers, a safe haven in the harsh world outside. Maybe one day, it would be a thriving settlement, a testament to human resilience and the spirit of Vault 76. Night fell, and with it came a chill that seeped into my bones. I huddled close to the small fire I'd managed to build, my dog curled up at my feet. The stars above were brighter than I'd ever seen them, unobscured by the vault's thick walls or the pollution of the old world. It was beautiful and terrifying all at once. In the distance, I could hear the howls of creatures I couldn't name, reminders that danger lurked in every shadow. But here, in this little camp I'd built with my own hands, I felt a glimmer of hope. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new discoveries, and perhaps new allies. The wasteland was vast and unforgiving, but we vault dwellers were nothing if not adaptable. As I drifted off to sleep, my mind wandered back to the vault, to the life I'd left behind. The sterile corridors, the recycled air, the constant hum of machinery. It all seemed like a distant dream now. Out here, every breath was a gift, every sunrise a miracle. We'd been prepared for this moment our entire lives, trained to face the unknown and rebuild civilization from the ashes. Morning came all too soon, the pale light of dawn filtering through the cracks in my makeshift shelter. I stretched, muscles aching from the previous day's exertions, but there was no time to rest. The wasteland waited for no one, and there was work to be done. As I stepped out of the shelter, I was greeted by an unexpected sight. A small group of people, their jumpsuits bearing the familiar 76 logo, were making their way towards my camp. Fellow vault dwellers, venturing out into the world just as I had. Their faces were a mix of excitement and apprehension, mirroring my own emotions from the day before. I welcomed them with open arms, sharing what little food and water I had. As we sat around the dying embers of last night's fire, swapping stories and making plans, I felt a sense of purpose wash over me. This was why we'd emerged from the vault, not just to survive, but to come together, to rebuild, to create something new from the ruins of the old world. The day passed in a flurry of activity. We expanded the camp, built more shelters, and began to fortify our position. Each person brought their own skills and knowledge to the table. One was an expert in agriculture, another in mechanics. Together, we were laying the foundation for something greater than any of us could have achieved alone. As the sun began to set on our second day in the wasteland, I climbed to the top of a nearby hill to survey our progress. The small camp had already grown, tents and crude structures dotting the clearing. Smoke rose from cooking fires, and the sound of laughter drifted up on the evening breeze. Looking out over the vast expanse of the wasteland, I felt a mix of emotions. Fear of the unknown dangers that lurked out there, yes, but also excitement for the adventures to come. And underneath it all, a deep sense of responsibility. We were the inheritors of this broken world, tasked with piecing it back together. The Vault had prepared us for this moment, given us the tools and knowledge we'd need to survive. But it was up to us to thrive, to take those lessons and build something new, something better. As I made my way back down to the camp, I couldn't help but smile. This was just the beginning. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new discoveries, new opportunities to learn and grow. The wasteland was harsh and unforgiving, but we Vault dwellers were tougher. We were the best hope for the future, and we wouldn't let the world down. The heavy door of Vault 76 might have closed behind us, but a whole new world had opened up, and together we would face whatever it had in store for us. Because war never changes, but people do, and we were ready to change the world.
To dream